Hello everybody, welcome to Real Life Health Show. I want to do another reaction or response video, and normally I call these response videos because I make a response to a video I already seen and I want to give my response with my 29 plus years of being on a raw vegan diet and discuss it with people that are talking about the raw vegan diet. But today's video is going to be more of a reaction video because I actually haven't seen the whole video. I saw a few minutes of the first part of it and I'm like, I definitely got to talk about this. And I'm going to do it. Now, I've made response videos to this person before, and I've also interviewed this person on my show before. I'll put the links below. This is Raw Vegan Rising, and this is Shane. And there's a lot of people out there that make videos about the raw food diet and so on, but I would say he is one of the most consistent people out there now making videos on a raw vegan diet. And so we're going to look at what he has to say in this particular episode, because the few things I heard, I want to just discuss so people could hear my viewpoint on it. Again, I've been eating a raw vegan diet for 29 years now or so, and I'm not sure how long he's been doing it. I think it's 8 years, maybe 9 years, which is still wonderful. It's still great. I do want to say also there are a lot of people that eat a lot of raw food in their diet, but they're not all raw, 100% raw. And if you're not eating 100% raw, you're just eating a diet with a lot of fruits and vegetables in it. It's not a raw diet. Yeah, you're maybe a raw vegan, but only if you're eating all raw. If you're not all raw, you're not a raw vegan. You're a vegan. So as far from my understanding, Shane at, I think that was his name, Raw Vegan Rising, is 100% raw, and he promotes 100% raw. So I think that's a good thing if somebody chooses to go all raw. I don't think it's necessary for everyone to experience the benefit of raw food is if they do less than 100% raw. I just wanted to clarify that you don't have to be all raw to experience the benefits of raw food. And for me, all raw is the best because of me overcoming an illness and not wanting to get sick again from my illness. I know eating certain things can create that reaction. So for me, not eating cooked food at all helps me. It also makes it easier for me not to get into the addictions and the taste of cooked food. So I do my best to stay all raw. I have no desire to eat cooked food, but part of that is because I don't eat cooked food. I think it creates a challenge to go all raw when you're eating some cooked food, even a little, because you never lose that taste, that feeling, and so on of eating the food. So I just think all raw is the best for from a physical standpoint, from a health standpoint. Now, from a psychological standpoint, you know, some people don't do all raw. They don't know how to get along with their family or their friends or be social unless they eat some cooked food. So for those particular people that haven't figured that out yet, less than 100% raw might be better for their situation. This video is not about that topic. I just wanted to mention where I stand on that. So now, in this video, it says the title is The Most Dangerous Raw Vegan Scam in the World. Now, normally when I do these response videos, they're not, the videos are shorter, maybe 10-minute videos, because my comments make the video too long, and I don't want it to go too long. So this video is 17 minutes long. So I'm going to skip through some of it because I don't want to come on or play all of it just from a time standpoint. But I will let you know some of the parts I'm going to fast forward through is the sales pitch for Raw Vegan Rising's program, of his coaching program. And I'm not skipping through this because I don't recommend it. I don't endorse or not endorse it. I think people need to determine themselves if they need a coach, who they want to coach them. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to put the links to Raw Vegan Rising below, and you can look into that and find out about that. Just for the sake of time, he spends a good amount of time in the video talking about that coaching program. And for sake of time, that might be the part I'm skipping. It's not that I'm for or against it. So I just wanted to clarify that. And and I think I'm happy Shane's doing it. I think he's doing a great job getting the videos out on a consistent basis. I agree with a lot of what he says. No two people agree 100% on anything, but this particular topic, when he said the most dangerous raw vegan scam, we definitely got to talk about this, because I heard him talking about this topic, and then when I saw what he was talking about. So let's begin here. So let's start it. And again, this is not just a response video. This is kind of a reaction video, because I haven't seen it all yet. All right, so let's start here.
Hello, good people. Welcome to Raw Vegan Rising. My name is Shane Sterling. In this video, we're going to talk about the most dangerous raw vegan scam in the world. That is restricting food, restricting fats. A raw vegan diet is...
Okay, right away I got something to say about this, and this is what made me want to do this response video. When we look at the most dangerous, the wording we got to be careful with. I think the most dangerous raw vegan scam out there is raw chocolate and raw candy and raw chocolate and all these other raw junk foods that people say, oh, it's going to be good for you because it's raw. No, junk food is still junk food. I think that's the most dangerous raw food scam. I should do a updated video on that topic. But I don't agree with him that this is the most dangerous. But I don't even think this one is dangerous though. He's talking about restricting. Like we're told to restrict protein or restrict fat, and the way he's making it sound, he's going to make it sound like we don't need to restrict anything on raw vegan. We can do as much as we want in abundance, and he used the word abundance like 4 or 5 times. We can do as much as we want, abundance, 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 and all things. I always say health is more than just diet alone. It's not just our diet. So I can't say that you can eat raw and get better from every illness. I like to look at the other aspects of health as well, not just the diet aspect, which is tremendously important. So that's important to understand. And also, besides the other aspects of health, raw vegan can mean a lot of different things. So we gotta consider, well, like I said, raw vegan can be on those scam junk foods, or it can be some healthy food. So we gotta consider all these when we hear these things. Let's hear a little bit more about what he's saying.
Is the opposite. A raw vegan diet is about abundance and miraculous healing and transformation and reclaiming of our health. There's no restriction in a raw vegan diet. If somebody is out there telling you you need to restrict, you can't eat fats, you can't eat protein, you can't eat this, and you can't eat that, do not listen to them. A raw vegan diet is...
Okay, I guess don't listen to me, because I'm telling you, don't eat raw junk food. I'm telling you, be careful and restrict yourself from eating late at night, even if you're eating raw vegan. I'm telling you, you want to make sure you're not overeating, even if you're eating raw vegan. Overeating is still detrimental to your health, even if it's raw vegan. So I wouldn't use the words restrict, but I would use the words, we want to make sure that we're still following general health guidelines. Somebody that's eating a diet that isn't 100% raw, but not eating late at night, not overeating, or not overeating on fat, or not overeating on sugar is going to do a lot better than somebody who's just eating in abundance and not thinking about these things. Back in the day, there used to be 30 bananas a day. People used to eat 30 bananas a day. Look, yeah, it's raw vegan. It's not healthy to eat 30 of any fruit a day. It's too much is too much. So, you know, we gotta not restrict, but temperance. Temperance is a wonderful thing. And I find eating less, not more, is what helps me thrive as I eat this way. And not just me. I've interviewed people that have been doing a raw vegan diet for a lot longer than I have. And yes, 29 years, and people have been doing it longer. Dr. Fred Bishy has been doing this much longer than me, and he talks about this as well. The other thing about the fat and how much fat we need, we got to be careful with this one, because I interviewed this guy, Joseph, who had cancer, and he got better from Hippocrates Health Institute and a raw vegan diet. And he spoke a lot about reducing fat, and it was a great interview. I'll put the link below to that one. And he spoke about reducing fat and how it's going to help. And he reduced it all the way down to eating like a half an avocado a day or something, and that's when he thrived, and he avoided cancer or helped him not get cancer. It was a great interview, and it made me also confirmed a lot of the things I've learned over the years about, I wouldn't use the word restricting, but I'd say the word about just learning and realizing these things. Now, I have to say, in all fairness to Shane here at Raw Vegan Rising, when I was 9 years into the raw vegan diet, I was pretty close to where he is. The raw vegan diet, I believe back then, was the panacea, the cure-all. I can tell you now, it's not a panacea. There's no panacea out there. You got to take many things into effect, into consideration, and I would not get into this. You're free to do whatever you want just because you're eating raw vegan. So you could eat recipes and dehydrated food, and even if you're eating fresh fruit, you can overdo it. So these are things we need to consider when we're on this diet. So let's hear more about what he has to say. We're not even a minute into the video, and I've already taken so much time. Let's hear some more.
Miraculous. It's abundant. And it's going to help heal you and transform your life at the highest level. There's no restriction in that. We need to eat a well-balanced diet of highly nutritious foods, plenty of protein, plenty of fats, plenty of carbohydrates from all raw vegan sources.
We don't need to have plenty of protein. We need, be careful with that one. I'm into fitness. I'm into health, and the high protein myth. And he didn't say high protein, but he said plenty. So plenty means, where am I going to get my protein and how much protein I need? We need, instead of using the word plenty, I would say we need some, or we need enough. And you can get some and enough from raw food. Plenty means like a really good amount, or at least equivalent to what people are getting on a non-raw vegan diet, and we don't. Protein is something that people get way too much of. You don't need protein powders. You can get all the protein you need in raw vegan food, and nuts and seeds, and sprouted beans, and you can get these. And then there's protein, or the essential acids that build protein, in fruits and vegetables as well.
That's what's going to help us look and feel our best. A raw vegan diet will help you look 20 years younger. It truly will.
It's a great sales pitch, everything he's saying about the raw vegan diet. I'm a raw vegan, and I love it, and I love his enthusiasm for it. Will it help people look 20 years younger? It'll definitely slow down the aging process. Whenever we get into the looking thing, I know meat eaters that look great, and I know meat eaters that look terrible. And I know raw vegans that look great, and I know raw vegans that don't look great. There's so many other factors into it. But it definitely will slow down the aging process. So I personally wouldn't say, oh, it's going to make you look 20 years younger. I'll say it'll slow down the aging process, certainly. Okay, let's hear some more.
If you do it right, if you don't restrict, because if you restrict, you're going to fail. And then you're going to say a raw vegan diet didn't work, when in fact, a raw vegan diet is the miracle you're looking for. You're standing right now on the threshold of the best decision you could ever make in your life to go raw vegan. Your hero's journey is calling you forward. You feel the call. I know you do. You're feeling for that 2.0 upgrade, the phoenix rising from the ashes. You're crying out for a transformation, and a raw vegan diet is what's going to give it to you. Yes, it will. I've been a raw vegan coach for many years. I'm a guide and a mentor. I help people every single day. There's over 3,500 people in my group coaching program, Raw Vegan Heroes. It's the best raw vegan coaching program in the world, hands down.
Okay, so now he's talking about his coaching program. Like I said, I want to get more into the heart of the talk here and what he's talking about. So again, I'm not skipping over that advertisement part because I agree or disagree with it. I think it's great that people are coaching people out there to eat raw and healthy. So the information, I'll put his website below so you can look more on the information about that if you want it. But let's go into more of what he talks about here. Okay.
Let's jump into it right now. I want to give you 3 points of how to thrive on a raw vegan diet and how to avoid the most dangerous scam in the world, the restriction. Here's what we really do instead. Number 1, we focus on macros, the macronutrients in our diet. Okay, proteins, carbs, and fats. We want to find a macronutrient balance that's perfect for us and our constitution and our age and our fitness goals and where we live in the world. Is it cold? Is it tropical? We need to have a macronutrient balance that serves us and that makes us feel amazing so we can eat fully raw vegan and thrive at the highest level. It comes down to macros. That's why we can never restrict macros. People telling you you can't eat fats to be raw vegan is absolutely silly, because what if you need to have 30 or 40% fats in your diet based on where you live or what your fitness goals are?
Okay, maybe somebody in Alaska might need 40% fat. I don't think 40% fat is good long-term on any type of diet. So keep that in mind. Even if it's raw vegan fats, they definitely aren't detrimental as cooked fats are, or animal fat is really bad. But there aren't too many people that are going to get into this that are going to be looking that are going to thrive on 40% fat. And I'm not one of those people that say you need to eat this amount of this or that amount of that. And I am a person that individualizes things. I like to look at the blood work also to determine what's working for people, what's not. 40% fat, even if it's raw vegan, in my opinion, is going to be too much for most, if not all, people. I've experimented with high fat versions of a raw vegan diet over the years. I've experimented with lower fats. I experimented with a lot of different things. 40% of your diet from fat is not ideal. I'm not telling you to restrict things. I don't like the word that to restrict things, but just think about what you're doing. And like I say, if it's whatever you're doing, whether it's raw vegan, whether it's 40% fat, whatever it is, if it's working for you, there's no reason to change. If you're achieving your goal, there's no reason to do something different. But when you look at your blood work, when you monitor your sleeping pattern, when you look at your overall health, when you see how you feel, and determine all that, use those factors to know if what you're doing is working for you, not some bolt of stimulation or how great you look or something else. You know, a good energy, not fake stimulation, but good energy is a good sign of health. Looking healthy, not according to the world's ways, but just healthy in general is a good indication what you're doing is working. But you have to look at all the other factors. You know, somebody might look great and have this sense of energy or stimulation, but they're not going to the bathroom enough. They're not getting enough sleep, and they're overweight or something. In the world, they look great because most people are in that situation. So you want to consider all of these different factors. But yeah, 40% is really pushing the limit of fat in your diet. But we're all individualized, so be it. Let's hear more what he has to say.
Yeah, that's why we want to focus on macros. Now, I've got a pro tip, a real pro tip. Focus on one macronutrient only and let the other 2 macronutrients just fall into place. What I do is I focus on fats. I shoot for about 20% of my calories from fats every day from good omega-3 rich sources of raw vegan fats, from nuts and seeds. Okay? By focusing on one macronutrient only, the protein defaults to just what it is, and the carbohydrates just default to what it is. It makes it so simple. This way I can thrive at the highest level. I get all of my nutritional needs met. I can build muscle. I can be strong.
So I'm just sharing my experience. Somebody who's been doing this for 29 years. 20% of your diet from nuts and seeds on a consistent basis, long term, even if you're soaking those nuts and seeds, is still a good amount of fat, and it's a lot of digestion to digest those nuts and seeds. It'll work for a certain time, but I have found it's not the best way to go. Nuts and seeds should definitely be reduced in the diet. It's something that is definitely used too much by most raw vegans, in my opinion, is the nuts and seeds. And if you have to eat one or the other, seeds are much more digestible than nuts. But it's still a good amount. So, and again, if it's working for him, it's working for him. If it's working for you, it's working for you. But from my experience, that's a lot of nuts.
Get plenty of protein. It's absolutely incredible. So that's a pro tip right there. Okay. Now, number 2, focus on calories. Don't restrict calories. Eat an abundance. When you first go raw vegan, you might need to gorge yourself. You might need to eat 5,000, 6,000, 7,000 calories to get through the day. Let yourself fit.
Wait a second. I think I heard him just say you might be able to eat 5 or 6 or 7,000 calories a day. Now I'm reacting. What? What? As somebody I listen to lately says, what the? 7,000 calories a day? I don't count calories. I haven't counted calories all this time. I know how many calories I'm getting around because I just know. 7,000 calories a day? I don't care if you're just starting out raw. I don't care if you're raw or not raw. 7,000 calories a day is not healthy for anyone. For anyone. I don't care where they're coming from. 7,000 calories a day is too many calories. It's just too much. You're asking for trouble. You're asking for trouble. So keep that in mind. I don't necessarily recommend counting calories. On a raw vegan diet, to get 7,000 calories, I don't know what you're eating, but even if 20% of your diet is nuts, I still don't know how many nuts you're eating to get to 7,000 calories. That's a lot. That's a lot. And I'm not in agreement with it. Let's hear some more.
Okay? Because our body needs to go through a transformation. The body needs to just be supported. So support the body. Give it what it needs. Eat a lot. Okay? So when I first went raw vegan, I've been fully raw vegan for 7 years now. Absolutely incredible. Best thing I ever did in my life. When I first went raw vegan, I had to eat a lot. But now, after 7 years, I actually don't have to eat hardly any food at all. I'm so efficient at absorption. I get so much nutrition from my food. I look and feel better than I've ever felt in my life. But in the first year, I just ate a lot of food. Focus on calories. Get all the calories you need, because for your body to go through detox transition, you need to fuel your body with calories. For your body to become strong on a raw vegan diet, it needs calories. Let the process work itself out. Trust the process. Eat lots of calories. Don't restrict. No.
Okay, so I like what he said there, and it's true. When you first go raw vegan, you're going to need to eat a lot more but I don't say from a calorie standpoint. I say from a satiation standpoint, because cooked food is so heavy and you use it as heavy feeling after you eat. And when you switch to eating raw food, it's not calories you want to count, but you still need that heavy feeling. For me, what it was I was eating like durian fruit, which is a fruit that has fat and sugar in it. And it helped me be satisfied and helped me stay on a 100% raw vegan diet. It gave me that feeling of sensation. Like, but then as time went on, I ate less and less and less. And now I don't need to have durian or other fat in my diet. But I agree with Shane here. I agree with him that when you first start eating this way, you're going to find yourself eating more because of the transition process and because of detoxification. But I don't think it's about I need to get more calories in. I think it's just we might be finding ourselves eating more. But it might not. It shouldn't be a lot of calories because it's still raw food. unless you're eating a lot of nuts and seeds. And I do find in the first couple of years, people eat more dehydrated foods, more of the desserts and the nuts and the seeds, more nuts and seeds and so on. That's still a step in the right direction for them. Now, what I'm saying is somebody that's come from eating McDonald's and Burger King and they switch to eating a high-fat, high-calorie, raw vegan diet, I'm in agreement with Shane. That is a step in the right direction. It's where they came from, and now they're still eating not the best, but they're eating less toxic foods. So they're in a healing transition and moving in the right direction. However, if you're eating a balanced, all raw vegan diet, you're not overeating, and you're doing it really well, and then you switch to a high-fat, raw vegan diet with a lot of calories in it, I think that's a step in the wrong direction. So, is the raw vegan diet always best? Well, it depends where you came from. This is why I have some friends now that have been eating raw vegan for a long time, and they've got back to cook food. Now, in general, they're still eating like 95 or 90% raw food, which is great, especially for somebody that was eating anything less than that. But after doing the raw for a long time and going back, it might not be the best situation under certain circumstances. But so it depends where we came from. So I'll give them that and I'm in agreement. When you go through this, the first couple of years, you're seeking more dense foods, but the longer you're in this, and that changes. And he's experiencing that now. He eats a lot less now than he used to. I eat a lot less now than I used to. And Dr. Fred Bishy has been doing this long. He eats a lot less than he used to, because as your body gets cleaner and works more efficiently, we don't need to eat as much. So, and we can get satisfied and fulfill our nutritional needs by eating less. And also, as we get more into this, we kind of get wiser in what we're eating. So we're eating more highly nutritious food. So good point and good thing to understand. Don't get worried, if you have to eat more to stay raw now, but that's another thing. You want to be 100% raw vegan to avoid the cooked food taste and flavors and lose that. But you don't want to eat a bad diet long term just to have that title, raw vegan. So keep that in mind. You want to be a healthy raw vegan, not just a raw vegan. And why I say is that if you're living like in Minnesota where it's cold outside, you don't want to, and you got a choice between a warm soup or a raw food candy bar. In that circumstance, the raw food soup will take away, the cooked food soup will take away your raw vegan title, but you'll be in a better position than if you're eating that raw food candy bar every day. So we want to look at all the factors here.
No restriction, okay? And number 3 on my list, variety. We need to seek a variety of nutrient-dense raw nuts and seeds, fruits and vegetables, superfoods, sprouts, greens, everything we can get our hands on. We want to find all the undenatured foods we can. That includes dried foods that are sun-dried and non-denatured. We want to find non-denatured foods that can support a wide variety of nutrient-dense.
I'm in agreement there. 2 things to say. First of all, when somebody is in a raw food diet, when you're eating nuts and seeds, be careful with cashews. Cashews are very addicting, but they're not very healthy. Be careful with cashews. People tend to overeat on cashews. Very addicting. So when you are eating nuts and seeds, make good choices. Almonds can be soaked and make them more digestible. Pistachios and walnuts are in nature easily opened up and will digest easy as well. Be careful the source where you're getting your nuts and seeds. You want to make sure they're not sitting on the shelf in some warm store and the oils are going rancid in the nuts and seeds. If you can get them in the shell, even better. It could help control overeating. So be careful when you make these things. The other thing, which he just mentioned here, which focusing on the variety of these different things, he mentioned something about sun-dried foods or dehydrated foods. It's another addicting thing people tend to eat too much of when they first start raw or when they're raw in general. Dried pineapples and things like this. Good snacks, but dehydrated foods, I have found after all these years, are extremely important and should be the majority of your diet. So be careful with the dried food. And also, if you're getting dried food from the store, even if it says sun-dried or raw, you got to be careful and know the company you're getting it from, because there's a lot of mistruths when it comes to dehydrated food.
Foods to thrive on a raw vegan diet. It's so simple. It's not about restriction, okay? It's not about cutting out foods. It's about finding all the beautiful, amazing, abundant, undenatured foods that we can eat. We can walk into the grocery store and look at that produce section as the glowing kingdom of health that it truly is for us. Now, you want to eat raw vegan until the detox symptoms set in. So, what I recommend is eat raw for a month, 2 months, 3 months. At some point, you're going to start to feel the detox. That's when you do a 40-day juice fast. Okay, a 40-day juice fast is a one-time intervention protocol to cleanse the bowels of all the old mucus and plaque and waste and biofilm that has been poisoning you from.
So, again, this is a reaction video. This is the first time I'm hearing this. You are going to get to a point where your body's detoxifying, and there's a way to slow that down and speed that up based on how much you're cleansing and not. I think everyone has to go at their own pace, and we should pace ourselves. I don't think everyone will thrive after eating a raw food diet for 2 or 3 months to go on a 40-day juice fast. I wouldn't say everyone should do that. 40-day juice fast, we got to be really careful with. I don't think it's necessary. I've never done a 40-day juice fast, and I've been doing. And the reason I said it is because I've been eating raw vegan now all these years. I didn't need to do a 40-day juice fast. Shane coaches a lot of people, and maybe he's found success with them with that. And if so be, good. But that's a tip that he's giving, but I don't think it's necessary. That's what I'll say. I don't think it's necessary. The detox stage, when that happens, we can slow it down or speed it up. But detox is a good thing. And by doing juice, whether it's a juice fast or anything, it's going to help speed it up. It's going to get toxins out, and it's not a bad thing. Any detoxification methods and anytime detox taking place is a good thing. I'm not against juice fasting. I'm not against juices. I juice pretty much every day. I love it. But 40 days is a long time. And I don't know if it's the best thing to do when somebody's just making this big transition into their diet to begin with. And now they're going to go even further. And you got to look at the social ramifications of that and things like that. So if you're coaching with him or somebody who's recommending that, I think it's good to have a coach if you're going to do something on that level. I just want to say I don't see it being a necessary step. I see it as possibly something that could create an extra challenge that's not necessary. But if that's what you want to try, I'm not necessarily against it. But just heed my warning.
From the inside. If you've got autoimmune, if you've got weight gain, if you've got dermatitis or psoriasis or Hashimoto's or lupus or any kind of autoimmune, you need to do a juice fast. Cleanse the bowels out. Open up the pressure. It's like taking the plug out of a bathtub, and now all that crap can drain right out of you. The lymphatic system drains into the bowels. So now that's going to take about a year or two for you to start looking and feeling like you're 20 years old again. Okay, people often mistake me for being in my 20s when I am 51 years old, and that is no joke. Out at the gym, at the grocery store, at events, at gatherings, parties, people will be like, hey, you're like 28. I get it all the time. This is because I cleanse my bowels. Okay, so start with a 40-day juice fast. Join my group coaching program, Raw Vegan Heroes, for the most incredible, next level, high level accountability, knowledge, and support and community.
Okay, so I'm going to just skip this time-wise. Again, I'll put the link below for his website if you're interested in that. And let's go over here.
birthright. None of this restricting crap. That's the biggest scam in the world. A raw vegan diet is the opposite of restriction. It is nature's perfect divine diet for us. It is our species specific diet. It supports our biology at the highest level. It's fun. It's easy. Makes you feel good. It loves you back. When you eat cooked food, it sucks the life force out of you. It takes from you like a...
Okay, I'm in full agreement with Shane. The last part of that is cooked food is dehydrated food, and I believe eating foods with the most liquid in them will help us, our bodies, on a high level. And Shane's in a different place than I am. Shane coaches people to eat raw and stay raw. A lot of the coaching that I do, or people I speak to, are people that are suffering currently from disease or have had disease before. They're trying to overcome it or stay disease free. And that's where my heart and passion is, because I suffered from an illness when I was younger, ulcerative colitis, also known as Crohn's disease, eating the standard American diet, which stands for SAD. And I do help people eat and stay on a raw food diet. If they want to do it for looks or athletic performance, I could help people. But my real passion is when people have went to doctors and they're at the end of their line, end of the rope, they don't know what else to do. They've tried just about everything they think, but they're still suffering from sickness or disease. I want to help them get better. And that's my personal motivation, is to help guide them into getting better. And not all of them will listen, and so on. So we kind of do have a little different audiences, so to say. But I appreciate what Shane's saying here, and I'm not in disagreement with him about the amazing healing power of eating foods that are in the most natural state. And there aren't many people in this world that are on a 100% raw vegan diet, especially for 9 years or longer. So thumbs up to Shane for doing that, and for making these videos to encourage people to get there. Again, I'm going to put his website below. I don't not or do endorse. I don't, neither one. I think people need to just hear what's out there and do what's working for them. I know a lot of people out there over the years that have done coaching, and somebody will call me up one day and say, oh, this person's amazing. They saved my life. Their coaching is wonderful. And hang up the phone. They get another phone call. Oh, that was terrible. It was a terrible experience. And they talk about the same person. So over the years, I've seen that happen. I'm not saying that with Shane's coaching program, but I'm saying over the years, those are things I've heard. So people have to find what works best for them in terms of who they want to guide them. But I do think it's helpful and important to have somebody hold your hand as you walk through the process of making such a drastic change in your eating habits. Now, diet goes beyond just food. I mean, the lifestyle of living healthy goes beyond just food and diet. But, it's good to have a coach along the way. So he's one avenue there, and one of the only few that are doing it 100% raw vegan. So thumbs up to him for that. And let's hear what else he has to say here as we get towards the end of this video.
Demon, like a parasite. When you eat raw food, it supports you like the angels entering your body, singing in harmony. You feel the resonance, you feel the guidance, leading you to spiritual clarity, purpose, mission, compassion. We're moving the needle one step further on the scale of evolution is what we're doing. And I encourage you to join the awakening movement to move the needle one step further on the scale of evolution. Who are you going to be? Are you going to uphold the old guard? Or are you going to help help it move toward the new 5D consciousness, higher vibrational awakening?
Okay, instead of talking about evolution and vibrations and all of this thing, I believe that our Creator created us in a way where we're designed to thrive in a certain area. And in the Bible, in Genesis 1:29, it says the food for man, the original food that our Creator wanted us to eat, was fruits and vegetables. We didn't evolve to eat this way, and we don't evolve when we're eating this way. He created us, our bodies, to thrive on fruits and vegetables. It's like a car. You can give a car things that'll make it work, but it thrives on the best fuel possible. And it's the same thing for our bodies. We're going to thrive on the best fuel possible. And I think the more food is in its natural state, and the closer we eat it to nature, the more we're going to be able to thrive. So that's the way I'll put it. And let's hear more what Shane has to say here as we close the video.
Movement. It's up to you. You're going to wake up next year either way. Are you going to do the juice fast? Are you going to be raw vegan, or are you going to stay the same? Are you going to claim that you can't do it, or are you going to have the courage to say yes to your hero's journey? Okay? That's my prayer for you, everybody. Just to recap really quick, we want to focus on macros. Okay, that's the key out of this bull crap of restricting and a raw vegan diet is negative and won't work. Focus on the macros, the proteins, the carbs, and the fats from all raw sources. Make sure you're focused on the calories you need. Eat an abundance of calories. Fuel this sacred temple with calories. Beautiful, raw, living food calories. Yeah, that's transformative. Emotionally healing, mentally healing, spiritually healing, and physically healing. Okay, and then focus on variety of nutrient density. Give your body so much variety of undenatured foods. Experiment and learn how you can find the undenatured foods to fuel your body at the highest level. When detox sets in, you do a 40-day juice fast. Join the community, be part of the awakening. Let the current of
all right, that's the gist of it. I don't want to go too much time-wise. Okay, so that is the recap of the video here. Again, I'll put the links below. You can check out Shane and Raw Vegan Rising and see what he's all about if you choose to do so. But again, I've been eating a raw vegan diet for 29 years. I like some of the things he says. I don't agree with 100% of what he said. And if you have comments or questions, you can post below. It's quite interesting that he has a coaching program with, he said, 3,500 people. Now, I don't know if that is a compilation of the 8 years he's been eating raw of people he's coached, or if he currently has that many people in his program. But thumbs up to him, because that's a lot of people to be coaching on a raw vegan diet. I find it interesting, because I don't know that there's even that many people eating a raw vegan diet or attempting to eat a raw vegan diet or wanting to eat a raw vegan diet in the world. So whatever he's doing must be working, because he's quite good at being consistent on promoting the raw food diet. But if he's got 3,500 people that are paying him to be a raw vegan, thumbs up to him, man. Because I've been doing this a long time, and maybe people don't agree with me. Maybe I make it too easy or hard. I don't know, but I never had 3,500 people coaching them at the same time. So good on you, mate, as they say in Australia. I'm not from Australia, so I don't know why I said that. But that's good. But honestly, even if it's one person that he was coaching successfully to eat a better diet and live a better lifestyle, I feel his work is worth it, and I feel his journey is worth it, and it's just as good. And for the same thing out there to everyone. Now, again, if you suffer from an illness you're trying to overcome, or if you're looking for help, you want a consultation or something, you can contact me below, and we could try to work something out if you want. Like, I do try to just often in the comments just tell people what to do if it's just a simple question or problem. Depending how much time it'll take or how much time you want will determine if you even need a consultation or not. But I mention that because I often get a question is, do you coach people, or do you? I don't have a coaching program. I speak to people one-on-one that need help. A lot of people are desperate because they've tried everything. The doctors aren't helping them. The doctors aren't giving them the information they need. So I just try to encourage them and also correct some of the things that people are doing, because a lot of people think they're eating healthy, but they're really not. Not even close. And then when I tell people, well, that's not healthy, that's not healthy, that's not healthy, they're either like, really, tell me more, or click, I don't want to hear about it. I can't stop eating this. So take it for what it's at. And if you like these reaction videos or response videos, let me know. If there's anyone else or video you want me to respond to, let me know as well. Until then, everybody, thank you for watching. Shane, Raw Vegan Rising. Keep up the good work and encouraging people to eat more raw food and raw vegan. And thank you, everybody, for watching. Have a great day, everybody, and a great raw life.
Nature's wealth, good for your health. This is the Raw Life Health Show.